do you think he is, Daniel? Again, you're at the top of your game right now. He was world champion back in 2016. It's a long time ago. Do you still think he's at the top of his game?
I respect, he's been on form for the last couple of fights, but if you look at, I think he's had his day, in my opinion.
I've only just started. My day is coming.
What about Joe Joyce? What happened?
I was sick.
What happened there?
And what about Joe Joyce for you?
No,
what happened there?
It's different. My fight.
I went in there, right? He should have knocked me out in the first round.
Yeah.
I was sick. And went 11 rounds.
Do you expect this to be a tough challenge?
I'll rise to the occasion, whatever it is. I'll be better than him in every department, strength, speed, and yeah.
Those are the words of Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker in their face-off. Now, I will go live to talk about the whole face-off, but I'm doing little counter punches here and there with videos that we can chop down some stuff and break down and counter punch the way that we supposed to counter punch. So let's get to it. Daniel Dubois thinks Joseph Parker has had his better days, okay? And Joseph Parker, you look at Joseph Parker, he's a guy that I think this is his second run. I think this is the run that Deontay Wilder wanted to have in his second part of his career. I mean, he's 33 years of age. He just turned 33, okay? He's not as old as those other guys, okay? When he was WBO champion was a long time ago. He was in his 20s, mid-20s, so him having better days, we'll see. I just think it's a great relationship with him and Andy Lee. I think Andy Lee has taught Joseph Parker how to follow a game plan to the T. So him saying it, I think his days are behind him. I think that's a low-key way of saying or underestimating a fighter, thinking the better days are behind him. You better expect the best version of Joseph Parker, because if you don't, you may wind up in a situation that Wilder was in a situation that Zhang was in, okay? That you lost a decision to a guy that you thought that was over the hill. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's all wrong for him to think that, I think he's past his days. I think he's had better days. I think, in other words, past his prime. So if that's how Daniel Dubois feels, okay, it's contradictory to say, hey, I'm going to give it my all and I won't overlook him, but then you're saying stuff like that. Those are two different contradicting statements. This is Daniel Dubois, not Tyson Fury, right? So I look at that being an indicator that you need to watch out for when Daniel Dubois said that. Maybe, hopefully, he was saying that to get up under his skin, okay? And I think that Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, they had a mutual opponent, Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce beat them both. So now look at them now fighting for the IBF heavyweight title, and now look at Joe Joyce. Okay, so I would like to see what Joe can do still. I hope he hasn't lost it, but, we'll see about that. But nonetheless, Joseph Parker saying that I was sick, I never heard that before. Him saying that I was sick, I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't have said that, because I think what people still don't respect is how strong, how sturdy, how durable that Joe Joyce really was. Okay. I don't think people understand the fact that, hey, Joe Joyce was the man in the time. Okay. His reign ended in 2022 late. Okay. When he knocked out Joseph Parker. Okay. In the 11th round. But for him to say, I was sick, I think he did a pretty good job. I didn't see sluggishness. I seen him getting bigger. I seen Joseph Parker look a little chunky. I seen that, but did that mean he was fat? What did you do? Do you eat when you're sick? You know what I mean? Is that what they do over there? Because I didn't see any wears and tears to that degree. I seen a guy that gained weight and therefore he was a little slower and he wasn't sharper than he was when he was lighter in weight. But other than saying I was sick, I didn't see any of that. I didn't hear that before. So, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't discredit Joe Joyce at the time because Joe Joyce was the man at the time. You know, I will say that. And Danny Dubois saying I'm a different fighter now. Okay, that was a long time ago. That was over 4 years ago. And he's only, 28? So he was a young heavyweight at the time, you know, and he, went through his trials and tribulations, and then he found out a lot about himself that night. But both of those guys got beat by Joe Joyce. But you guys tell me what you think of Danny Dubois stating that Joseph Parker is past his prime. He's had better days. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.